After 55 years of bilateral relations.
สองประเทศสองผสมพระเฮานี่เป็นเพื่อนกัน
我们是命运共同体。
以前我们就在这里工作了。
A unique school holds special memories for people from the two countries.
大家都看我认为很坚强，就是因为我从那个地方练出来的。
Today, Chinese expertise is helping Laos along the path to development. In such ways, 55 years of bilateral cooperation has brought rewards for both nations. And the mutual benefits will flourish as the friendship continues. Watch Time as Witness in Spectrum Asia on CCTV News.
This is a story of friendship and cooperation. As a record of the close friendship between China and Laos, it touches on outer space, primeval forests, business operations, and love between a man and a woman.
สองประเทศสองผสมพระเฮานี่เป็นเพื่อนกัน
And over the years, they have grown closer.
我们是命运共同体。
Two countries, both have their dreams, and based on these, they're building a common future. Laos, the only landlocked country in Southeast Asia, borders China. It's an ancient and beautiful country where the tide of development is surging. In the past few years, dramatic changes have taken place in Laos. It has been transformed into an emerging country where modernity and tradition coexist. In the information era, ready access to high-speed communication has become essential for the country's development. In Laos, however, the undulating mountains prevent the optical fibre network from reaching anywhere other than the urban centres. This leaves most rural and mountainous areas almost entirely cut off from the outside world.
การให้ข้อมูลแก่ประชาชนนี่สะดวกอยู่ในตัวเมืองแต่ว่าอยู่ส่วนบทที่มีภูผาอันนี้จะลำบากให้แก่พวกเรา
It was essential for Laos to be better integrated with the rest of the world. So, the government decided a communication satellite was the answer.
ดาวเทียมนี้มันจะช่วยให้พวกเราบ่นว่าจะเอาข้อมูลไปถึงขงเขตที่การส่งหรือการสื่อสารปกติธรรมดานี้มีความยุ่งยาก
The government launched a tender for the country's satellite program, and bids came in from several countries, among them the US, Russia, South Korea, and Japan. China, having studied Laos' needs, also joined the competition with a proposal for a brand new cooperation model.
叫天低底化加商业运营整体策略方案。这个方案呢，一个鲜明的特点呢，就是把关注点放在应用上。
Because satellite technology was something new to Laos, the country lacked skilled professionals in the field. But the government was determined to show that a satellite could make a profound difference to the lives of the 6 million Lao people. Understanding the situation, China proposed a set of solutions, including establishing a joint venture company to run the associated business satellite's launch. This tailored approach appealed to the Lao government.
พวกเราก็มีดาวเทียมดวงดำอิฐ วิธีแก้ไขก็มีแต่ว่าเราต้องร่วมมือกับประเทศหรือว่าบริษัทที่มีประสบการณ์ในการบริการดาวเทียมมาแล้ว
And so, China was chosen. After 4 years, on November the 21st, 2015, Laos' first satellite entered orbit.
Today, 0时07分，我国在西昌卫星发射中心用长征3号乙运载火箭成功将老挝1号通信卫星发射升空，卫星顺利进入预定转移轨道。
In a suburb of the Lao capital, Vientiane, several giant satellite antennas stand beside the Mekong River. Behind them is located the country's first modern satellite control station. The team overseeing the telemetering equipment is made up of technicians from both China and Laos. Manisoni Liani Pasuth is a Lao engineer. She's calculating the satellite's location and status. The work demands extreme precision. The smallest error could have a major impact on the satellite's performance.
Considering when we do the whisk maneuver here, it's before maneuver and after maneuver.
Manasoni is someone who cherishes every opportunity to learn. As part of the joint satellite development project, China has undertaken to train aerospace communication professionals like her.
中方呢为老方呢做了全方位的技术和管理培训，包括卫星测控、卫星应用和无线宽带几个方面，为老方培训了50名。
Under the hands-on guidance from the Chinese engineers, Manasoni and her Lao colleagues quickly learned to operate the satellite.
卫星定点以后，第一个测控指令就是老方人员发出的，这个准确无误。
Even though her work often seems trivial, Manasoni feels fulfilled. The Chinese engineers have done much more than teach her about the technology. They've changed her life. People in Laos spent many years dreaming about all the benefits a satellite might bring them. She's helping them to realize that dream. Once the satellite is fully operational, every corner of Laos will have access to international and domestic TV, some 60 channels in all. And the signals of the country's own television stations will reach the neighbouring countries and regions, extending the country's own influence. At the LNTV studios, the staff are preparing for a talk show. In recent years, China has become a focus of growing public interest in Laos. To explore this phenomenon, LNTV is interviewing Hiem Pomachan, the Minister of Post and Communications. As the head of the Lao No. 1 satellite project, he has a unique insight into his country's cooperation and exchange with China.
Action. ตลอดระยะ40คะแนนไปสนีโทรคมมันสองประเทศสองประชาชนพระเฮานี่เป็นเพื่อนกันร่วมอุดมการณ์กันพระส่วนลาวนี่ก็ยังฮู้หลายอันจากพระสนจีนยังเรียนฮู้จากพระสนจีนช่วยได้พระเฮาเรียนไปแต่ว่าจะนำใช้นั่นใดเพราะว่าทั้งหมดนี่มันก็ต้องการถูกแด
Hiem Pomachan comments that China's rapid development has been witnessed by the whole world. Now the two neighbours are cooperating closely, as a result of which Lao people are keen to learn about China. The Bureau of China Radio International in Laos has done a lot to explain to its listeners all the changes that are taking place in China, For its part, Lao National Radio is planning a series of TV shows about China, and the two organizations have agreed to work together on a joint program. And so, Exploring China is broadcast in Vientiane. The program is hosted by Sangkan Chumkampan, Deputy Director of Lao National Radio. From the perspective of an ordinary Lao, the show aims at presenting every facet of China to its audience.
เฉพาะเนื้อในของข้าพเจ้าในเนื้อในรายการนี้มันถือว่าเลือกเอาแต่ละมือหัวข้อบ่คือกันแต่บางมือผู้ฟังกับโทรศัพท์มาว่าอยากรู้เรื่องนั้นเรื่องนี้เอามาเว้าสู่ฟังแด่โยนยานให้ครูผัวเมียฝ่ายใดฝ่ายหนึ่งมีลูกโทน
Sangkan spent several years working in Beijing. So, he has first-hand experience of China and the life of ordinary people there. Every day he arrives early at the studio to polish what he'll say during the program. The broadcast begins at 7 p.m. As today is Friday, Sangkan has selected a topic that he thinks will interest the whole family.
สบายดีท่านผู้ฟังที่เคารพพบกันอีกแล้วกับรายการเมืองจีนของวิทยุสากลแห่งประเทศจีนมื้อนี้หนุ่มใหญ่อารมณ์ดีจะล้มสู่ฟังที่จะอนุญาตให้คนจีนมีลูกได้2คนนำกันแม่นผู้อยู่ในเมืองให้มีแต่ลูก
Sangkan has been working in radio for 35 years. These days, his duties also include operations management at the station. His schedule is tight, but he never fails to make time for exploring China.
สำหรับตัวข้าพเจ้าเองแล้วก็ถือว่าเป็นเวียกที่นักสมควรอันหนึ่งเป็นย้อนความมักอันสองเป็นย้อนอยากให้คนลาวฮู้คนจีนฮู้ประเทศจีนหลายขึ้นได้ผู้ชายเด้แต่ว่าขั้นผู้ที่สองได้ผู้ชายได้ผู้หญิงคือเก่านี่ที่นี่วิทยุสากลแห่งประเทศจีนสบายดีท่านผู้ฟังที่เคารพที่ท่านฟังอยู่นี้แม่นรายการภาคภาษาลาวด้วยขนาดคลื่น FM
Broadcast on 93 FM, Exploring China has built up a host of loyal listeners. CRI, as the program's partner, hopes to expand 93 FM's coverage so that more people have access to more quality programs.
ยังต้องขี่แท็กซี่เป็นแผนไว้ละสำหรับที่ผู้ใดที่ว่า
传送上卫星之后，运用特定的这个接收手段，老挝全国乃至全世界，关注我们的人都能够收听到我们的广播。
The cultural exchange goes both ways. In the last few years, increasing numbers of Chinese people have come to Laos for travel, business and work, and they want to learn more about the country. Naturally, they turn to the media, and for their benefit, CRI has produced a series of videos.
旁边有一个那个西沙集市和那个玉佛寺，我可以去玩。
Entertainment in Laos highlights the country's scenic spots, culture and food. Originally, its target audience was Chinese, but since it was launched on Facebook, the click rate has exceeded all expectations.
在 Facebook 上推出之后，覆盖了21万人。 然后有7万多次播出，得到了3000多个赞。
ผมโอเคดีแล้วนะยับไปอีกหน่อยนึงยับไปอีกหน่อยนึงยับอีกหน่อยนึงโอเคได้ดีละ5 4 3
Mon and Chitsana work together on entertainment in Laos. They're currently planning the next episode. This time, they've decided to focus on Vientiane, the charming city that's not only the capital of the country, but also the Buddhist capital of Southeast Asia. Vientiane was first established in the 4th century BC. Today, the city is dotted with temples.
ข้าพเจ้าก็ได้เลือกเอาจุดเด่นๆเนาะหรือว่าเป็นสัญลักษณ์ของประเทศลาวเช่นประตูไซพระธาตุหลวงโดยเฉพาะเป็นพระธาตุหลวงนี่ก็เป็นสัญลักษณ์หนึ่งของประเทศลาวเนาะ
Pha That Luang is the holiest site of Buddhism in Laos. It's also known as the stupa of the Buddha's relics, so called because it houses a bone of the Buddha. It's generally said that in Laos, people's belief in Buddhism endows them with gratitude and reverence for the world around them. After finishing the day's filming, Mon will edit the footage. She's constantly working with the production team to adjust their approach based on the feedback from viewers. Their aim is to present a true image of Laos to a worldwide audience.
通过我们的节目，希望越来越多的中国人，甚至是关注老挝的人，能够来到老挝，感受老挝独特的魅力。
It's a hope that Menglong shares with Hiem, Sangkan, Mon and Chitsana. In the satellite, technical exchanges are helping to make cultural communication go deeper. China and Laos share a land border. Each is keen to learn more about the other, so as to establish closer relations in an era of win-win cooperation. China-Laos exchanges can be traced back to a time when both societies were agrarian. Laos has always had plenty of fertile land and rainfall. Rice, coffee beans and tobacco have flourished there. Pan's home is located in a Vientiane suburb. Like the other villagers, Nid Da Vieng and her family live beside their paddy field. Of Laos's 6 million population, 3/5 work in agriculture. Farming is the mainstay of the economy. However, backward cultivation and irrigation technology mean that most regions grow just a single crop. So, like Nid Da Vieng, many farmers, despite toiling all year round, barely earned enough just to survive. The national government decided that cooperation with China was the way to improve the situation. As they share a border, the two countries' agricultural traditions and natural conditions are similar. At the end of 2013, experts from Guangxi Agricultural and Vocational College visited Laos on the invitation of the Lao Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry. As a result of the visit, the two sides established an experimental crop breeding station in Champasak.
我们要把这个园区做成一个现代的农业示范园区和一个中老合作的一个平台。
Due to Laos's humid, wet weather, the moisture content in the soil is high. In such conditions, it's not easy to find suitable, high-quality crop strains. Eventually, after considerable research, the experts decided to use greenhouses and grow Hami melons. Nid Da Vieng was one of the first to take part in this joint project. Guided by a Chinese technician, she started to learn the skills of sowing and raising seedlings. For Nid Da Vieng and the other villagers, it's a brand new experience. They're anticipating the results with a certain amount of trepidation. After 5 months, the first Hami melons appear. The golden, shining fruit are a pleasant surprise for the farmers. They've had to work just as hard as before, but the rewards are much greater. People are keen to taste the locally grown Hami melons. The favourable reception for her produce has boosted Nid Da Vieng's confidence in the scientific approach to cultivation, and she is far more positive about the future. At an agricultural achievement exhibition, hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, people get their first taste of the locally produced hammy melons.
ปีกายนี้ได้เซ็นสัญญาให้ท่านสถาบันและแขวงกวางซีสืบต่ออยู่เวียงจันทร์เป็นต้นในอยู่สู่นาพอร่วมมือกับสถาบันนี้และมาฮอดเดี๋ยวนี้ก็ถือว่ามีผลสำเร็จทดลองแนวพันธุ์เขา18ชนิดและก็แนวพันธุ์มะขัดตุรุเบ
The hammy melons were followed by hybrid corn, dragon fruit and rice. The host of quality new produce enriched the variety available at Lao markets and brought numerous opportunities to local farmers. Its primeval natural landscapes cast a veil of mystery over Laos. For thousands of years, people have lived here, coexisting with nature. They have a love and reverence for their land that is inborn. Zhou Jinfu is a Chinese entrepreneur with a business in Laos. When he has some free time, he loves to walk in the forest, enjoying the primitive environment. Over 50% of Laos is covered in forests, and they're growing in value as a resource against the backdrop of the global ecological crisis. Zhou Jinfu has developed a profound love for the mountains and forests of Laos. On his numerous adventures, he meets many of the locals. In the beginning, people just stared at him curiously. Over time, they became his friends. In one forest, Zhou discovered a type of tea growing wild. What he found strange was that the locals didn't make a drink from the leaves.
采下来以后呢，就是把它装进竹筒，装进竹筒以后呢，就把它这个用泥把它封起来。在没有菜下饭的时候，可以拿那个茶叶出来，然后蘸一点那个盐巴，对吧？下饭。
Zhou explained to the villagers about the Chinese custom of drinking tea. They in turn told him about a rumor that the tea trees had been planted by members of a caravan traveling along the ancient tea and horse trail.
那么根据历史考证呢，就说中国马帮在这里播下第一粒茶种呢，距现在有1300年。
The discovery gave Zhou an idea. He would do something to protect the ancient tea trees and help the local people appreciate their value. His idea coincided with a new ecological protection initiative launched by the Lao government. After repeated requests, he was granted the right to protect and develop the ancient tea trees. Zhou eventually established an ecological preservation area. He brought in a team of experts from China to teach the villagers the techniques of growing and conserving the tea trees.
送别人的买的来了。当茶生长需要水的时候呢，又没有水，对吧？那么现在我就告诉他，对吧？你怎么样在茶树的根下面，对吧？自动的人为做一个蓄水。
The leaves on the old tea trees were larger than normal ones. In the virgin forest, the roots have grown and become intertwined with those of other plants. As part of a comprehensive biological chain, the bushes have survived, and their leaves have been imbued by nature with a unique fragrance.
所以说，老挝茶最大的一个特点，它有一种蜜香。
Joe was determined to bring out the sweet, mellow fragrance to the full. He brought in a team of experienced tea workers and charged them with producing top-grade red tea using traditional Chinese skills. Ultimately, the combination of time-honored Chinese tea culture and the ancient Lao tea trees would create a unique project.
Very perfect. The flavor is perfect and natural.
Working in the forest, Zhou Jinfu felt he was doing something worthwhile. The tea trees have survived for over 1,000 years, and Zhou was determined to make sure they lived and thrived for much longer.